What's going on, YouTubers? D-Rec here with Alliance Rift Gaming Outlet, and boy, if you guys watched the Bushiroad livestream this morning on March 14th, 2018, you guys got a whole lot of information. This is such a big change for the game. So much new stuff coming out. New mechanic got released, and it was so much different than any of us could have possibly predicted. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to go over almost all the information related to just the card game for now, and then in another video we'll go over some of the extra stuff like the Bermuda Triangle movie and so on and so forth. But jumping right into what got announced so far, we have our next series for the anime, and they're taking a jump back. They're going full circle. Geese won and reset the entirety of Cardfight back to square one. And yes, Bushiroad is taking Cardfight back to season 1 with OG Dragonic Overlord, OG Blaster Blade, Ren's the antagonist again, all that good stuff that everyone loved when season 1 came out, with the very, very big exception that they're introducing the new mechanic with all of the original season 1 stuff. So you can check it out all on the Cardfight Vanguard website, and just I'll put the link in the description below for the link to that specific tab in the website. But just listening to the information right now, we have the whole new animation. We'll go back to Archie and Kai being the main protagonists, and Ren's the main antagonist. You got Team Foo Fighters, you got Team Q4, and all that good jazz. You go back to Card Capital, and you meet Misaki for the first time, all that, everything. All the nostalgia, it's all right here. It's going to be amazing. And they're releasing 2 new trial decks. It's going to be, I think it's VTDO1. I don't know. They're going back to the original numerical order. So it's trial deck 1, trial deck 2, but with the V in front of it. So trial deck 1 is, I believe, trial deck 1 is the IT Sendo trial deck, and then trial deck 2 is the Toshiki Kai trial deck. So again, same thing, full cycle back to the release of the game. Trial deck 1's Blaster Blade, trial deck 2 is Dragonic Overlord. Same thing, same theme and everything, but with the introduction of the new card art, the new themes, and all that stuff going on. So you get the Blaster Blade trial deck, and that comes with 14 different types of cards and 53 in total. So there are 3 new cards, and they're called gift cards. Gift cards, lol. And we'll go into that in a little bit, but basically a pre-constructed 50 card deck. You get your gift markers and your guide and all that stuff like that, and that goes for both decks. So, and yes, this does mean that they're introducing a new format to the game where they're completely eliminating the G zone in this format. So the G zone itself isn't getting entirely phased out. It's going to be in its own format, but we're not sure if they're going to continue to support the G era stuff. We're not sure about what's going on with that yet, so I'll keep in touch with some of the information going on with that. But as we know right now, we're going to go into it a little bit later. But for now, we're going to stick with the Aiji Sendo and the Toshiki Kai trial deck, and then that's all the information there. You get you will get 1 foil version of Blaster Blade and then 3 non-foil versions. Both versions will have different arts, so the non-foil will have a different art from the foil version in the trial deck. And then same thing for Dragonic Overlord. The foil art will be different from the non-foil arts. And what is it? I think I don't know if it's one of the cards. I think it might be a promo. It's an Alfred Early card. Nope, it's in the trial deck. It's Alfred Early, base power 13,000, and his imaginary gift is Force. And I'll go over what the gift icons are all about. So that'll be released sometime in May for the Japanese version. Not too sure about the English version, so be on the lookout for any information regarding that. And then alongside that, alongside the Trial Deck 1 and Trial Deck 2 release for the revival of Season 1, we have Unite Team Q4 V Booster Pack 1. So they're going back again, full cycle. Booster Pack 1 with Team Q4 includes 84 different types of cards, 84 brand new cards. It includes 4 clans, Royals, Kagero, Oracle Think Tank, and Nova Grappler. So just these 4 clans for our 4 team members here on Team Q4. You get 4 triple rares, 8 double rares, 12 rares, and 17 rares, and then 43 commons. A new type of parallel rare called SVR. You get another one called SP. SPs are still in there. You have secret rare. Secret rares are being brought back, and then image rare. Now, image rare is really interesting. What it does is it takes the main character card the character uses in the show, and then replaces it with the character itself. So that's gonna be really interesting to see what they do with like Blaster Blade, and then like CEO Amaterasu if they bring her back. It might be Misaki in the CEO Amaterasu outfit, and then I don't know what they're gonna do with Kamui. I don't know how they're gonna do that, and then same thing with Kai. They can't really embody their avatars, so I don't know how they're gonna do that. But it's supposed to be really interesting, and the image rare is 1 type. So I think it might just be Blaster Blade, to be honest, but not too sure. And then the release information for that. So the Vanguard rare, or a special Vanguard rare featuring a main unit, will be inserted in each box. Special Vanguard rare comes with a hot stamp. The extremely rare image rare will be randomly inserted in a case. And this is the exclusive art for Blaster Blade. So yeah, the image rare is just for Blaster Blade. And then same thing with the secret rare, and then an origin rare. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's some units will be available in their old illustration, but with a brand new ability and card frame. So yeah, so all of the new cards starting with this new era of the game are going to be different from the original version. So I don't know how they're going to do that with cards from like G era and before looking a lot like the new cards, or not looking like the new cards in the new era, or the revived Season 1 era. So I don't know how that's going to work. It's going to be really weird trying to do stuff like that. But apparently it's supposed to make each box a little bit more worth because of all the different rarities. Not too sure how that's going to work. And then for every 4 booster packs you buy for the release campaign, you get a promo pack, and each promo pack contains 2 of 8 cards. So you get 4 separate pairs of cards. For Royals, you get a promo card and a gift marker. Same thing for each of them. So all of the promo packs have 1 actual card and 1 gift marker. So I think it'd be pretty interesting to see what they do with that. The gift markers might make it a little bit more, might make deck building a little more interesting, because I'm not too sure how they're going to do the whole gift marker type thing. We'll get into that in just a sec. So. And then the last thing, if you watch the live stream, there's a promo Dragon Monk Gojo and Wingle promo that are going to be coming out alongside this stuff. And they're making a promo out of Star Drive Dragon and Crested Dragon. For all you guys from the OG who played when the half decks came out back in 2012 or 13, they're remaking the vanilla 10k grade 3s. So stay on the lookout for that. I don't know if the skills have been announced yet, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see what they do with that, seeing as they were just cameos in Season 1. So, going right into the new mechanic. So we have the 3 different types of gift markers. The first one is called Excel, which grants you an additional front row rearguard circle that cannot be boosted, but the circle itself gains 10,000 power. So whatever unit you call to that circle gets 10,000 power. And then the second one is Force. This is a more balanced one. You can choose a Vanguard circle or a Rearguard circle. The unit in the circle will get 10,000 power during your turn, and a total of 20,000 power if there are 2 markers. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm not too sure how that's going to work. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do 2 markers at once. And then the last type of circle is called Protect. You add the gift card to your hand, and it acts like a perfect guard. So you can play the card and pay the cost of discarding another card to play it. So you get a 5th perfect guard, basically. Or if you're playing Bermudes, you get a 7th perfect card. But that's going to be really interesting to see how you have a defensive type, you have a defensive range, you have a balanced range, and you have an aggro range. So it's kind of like RPG stats almost. It's really, really interesting to see how they're implementing this new type of function into the game. But There's not too much detail on how it comes out. We haven't gotten any kind of like play tutorial, so really looking forward to an actual tutorial of how to play with this new mechanic coming in the near future. Hopefully the near future. And then next thing, trigger powers are also increasing. So critical triggers, draw triggers, heal triggers. Did they not include stand? Okay, I'm wondering if they just eliminated stand entirely from the website, because the website does not include the stand trigger at all. Yeah, no, I'm not too sure what they did with that. I'm seeing critical, draw, heal, and then the new trigger. So all triggers now grant a 10,000 point bonus. And in addition, they added a new trigger called the front trigger, which gives plus 10,000 power to all units in the front row. Not sure if that means that they're eliminating stand triggers for this purpose, but I don't know so far. There's not another tab for stands, so I'm wondering if they're eliminating that. I'll keep you guys posted on any updates with that. But yeah, trigger power is increased to 10,000, and then the new trigger called the front trigger is being introduced. So you can probably combo that with Excel. So the unit in your in the additional circle will get 10,000 power in addition to your front trigger also getting an additional 10,000 power. So that would be really nice to see. Though I'm not too sure how it's going to integrate into G-Era. I'm very, very worried about how this is going to go forward, because a lot of people are really worried that this new format is going to completely eliminate G-Zones, which it probably will in the future. And that just says bye to all of everyone's wallets and stuff like that. People basically have to relearn how to play the game. I think new players will have an easier time learning how to play the game than seasoned players, just because this is such a big change from G-Era and even before that with Legion Era. Like from OG to Limit Break to Break Ride to Legion to now, it was a very smooth transition. This adds so many new things, and it's going to be a very weird transition period, I think. But I hopefully they make it work out for the game, and hopefully it keeps the game balanced. And yeah, so that was the triggers there. Moving on to the next tab, we have our new formats. So yes, they introduced a new new format. So currently we have Clan Fight, which is our current regulation. That includes everything from now until back then, and everything can only play. You can only play with certain cards to a clan. That was it. Before that, you had Extreme Fight, which was you could basically build a deck out of anything, mix any clans together, do whatever. No one really got into that because it got too wonky, and deck building was way too hard. And then it was G regulation, which no one liked at all because it eliminated a lot of OG stuff. Especially stuff that they gave support to in G-Era, so it was very unfavorable. But what they're doing now is you have G format, which is our current format, and then they're introducing standard and premium. So premium format is, if I can find it, where did it go? So yeah, so you have standard format, which is only new cards, so BTO1 going forward, starting in May. That's all it's going to be about. You have premium format, which is everything to date. Then that sticks with Clan Fight and all that stuff like that. And then G format, which is all the old stuff moving forward. And unfortunately, that on G format entails that there will be no support for G format going forward. So GBT14 is the last set that will be getting strides, which is very sad. That is not to say though that strides will not be capable of being used. Premium will still be a format that people are going to follow, just because it adds so much more variety to deck types and stuff like that. I don't know how it's going to integrate with the new stuff, but I'm not too sure at all. It's going to be a very, very weird transition period, I think. So yeah, standard, BT01 forward, premium, everything, and then G format, just BT14 and earlier. So I don't think anyone's going to stick with G format, just because, again, G format's not getting supported anymore. Premium might be the way to go, just because we have all this stuff from G era that we can kind of use and test around with. So that'll kind of be the go-to thing, I think. And then standard, it will be for people who are new to the game that just don't have anything from the collection. So there will be new players being introduced to the game that will just be standard, and then premium will be all of the seasoned players that have been playing the game. I don't think anyone's going to stick with G format though. And then yeah, so going back to the transition period. So the transition period, G format's going to go all the way until October, and then they're just going to cut off support for that. And then starting with June, or May rather, May, you're going to have standard and premium being introduced, and that's going to continue for the rest of the foreseeable future. G format until 2018 will receive shop stuff 4 times a month. Premium will be twice, and then standard will be 4 times. And then and then going into October, it will just be premium and standard, and G format will be eliminated entirely. So yeah, I definitely think that people are more of the seasoned players that are especially watching this video will be sticking with premium, just because they can go back and forth and stuff like that. And then standard, again, newbie and new players. I'm regurgitating information at this point. And then for the release schedule, going back to the sets that we talked about earlier, the trial decks and the booster set for Q4 will be released in June. And then July we'll get an extra booster for Spikes, Tachis, and Mega Colony. August will include Aqua Force and an extra booster for an Aqua Force trial deck, and then an Aqua Force Grand Blue and Dimension Police extra booster. And then for September we're going to get a Shadow Paladin trial deck, and then a booster set for Shadows, Darker Regs, Pale Moon, and Murakumo. I think that's going to be for Team Asteroid or Team Foo Fighters, whichever one you like to follow with, but that's going to be the set for that. And that concludes that. Oh, and then the last thing was the speculation of a rotation period. So being that every clan's going to be supported every year going into for the rest of 2018 and 2019, people are speculating that there's going to be a rotation type format with standards, so I'll keep you posted on that. But rotation period would basically be like the would be standard, but you know, it would be Cardfight's equivalent of Magic standard. So yeah, I'll see how that works out going forward. But for the rest of the year, I'm probably gonna stick with premium format, and that's what's gonna be going on in that's probably what's gonna be used for the BCS 2018 for the singles. That's probably what they're going to use for the tournament in the latter half of 2018. So that is it for all of the new card stuff. And then lastly, big thing, a lot of people were upset about this a year or two ago when Cardfight Vanguard Online was announced and then got subsequently canceled. It looks like the Japanese version of their new mobile game, Cardfight Vanguard 0, is going to be releasing in Japan in the winter of 2018, and then the English version is going to come in later 2019. So it's basically going to be the equivalent of Duel Links, but for Vanguard, except it is a full version of the game, but it's going to be using stuff from OG BT01, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. If you look at the screenshot on the screen, you'll see that the fight scene is showing you like there's Conroe, there's Little Sage Marin, Lake Maiden Lien, OG Blaster Blade, yeah, Soul Saver in hand with Kingdom Knights Alfred, all that stuff like that. So it looks like they're just going to be using some OG stuff just to get people back into the game, or new players, a refresher, old players like nostalgia aspect or whatever. So I definitely think it's going to look really good. I definitely think the game's got some promise going forward. I know a lot of people are really scared that G era is ending and nothing's going to get supported, but in the same breath, this big change is going to bring about a big shift forward in the game, and I think it's going to start to finally. I think we're going to start to see the beginnings of like an actual rotation period. So now they can actually transition to a period where they can where Bushi can finally say, "Hey, Cardfight's a competitive card game," instead of preaching that it's a casual card game this entire time. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on any further information that comes up. But I'm definitely excited for the new format. I was a little worried at first about the G Zone being completely eliminated, but with the two main formats that are going to be kept, standard and then premium, I will be sticking with premium until there's a ton more support for standard format. Then I might build a standard format deck. But if in the meantime, just going to stick with premium. So thank you guys for watching. You can definitely check out some of the other. I would recommend checking out some of the other channels to get some more insight. This is just me briefly skimming over a lot of the information that was on the Cardfight Vanguard English website. There are a lot of people in the Vanguard community that have translated some of the Japanese stuff, especially some of the stuff from the live stream itself. So I would try following up with some of them as well to get more information, and then I'll try and throw more in as more information follows up. So yeah, so I will also have the Charlotte and the Luar deck list up soon. Stay tuned for that. And until then, I will see you guys in one of those two videos. Peace out.